Welcome to Primetime Live at the Duxbury Senior Center. I'm Joanne Moore, and I'll be your host for today's show. I'm lucky enough to have Donna Ciappina, our outreach manager, here with us to share some information about outreach, what it does, and how it can help you in the community. Donna, thank you so much for being on the show.
You're welcome.
I wanted to get our audience to know you a little better if they haven't had the pleasure to come visit you in the office or have you come to their home. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Well, I have been at the Senior Center for 9 years as the outreach manager. I'm a social worker, went to Bridgewater State University, back when it was Bridgewater State College. I've worked in human services for most of my career, and worked before the Senior Center. I worked at a larger agency as a family caregiver specialist, working with the seniors and their families.
And that's a lot of what you do at the Senior Center.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So the word outreach, it sometimes is a tough word to define. Even when I'm out in the community, people ask, what does that exactly mean? So can you tell me what outreach means at the Duxbury Senior Center?
Sure. I think it's about building connections and relationships with seniors and their families and even the general public. I think it's either at the center or in the community. It could be that we're having phone contacts or office meetings, or we're visiting a frail elder in their home. Our goal is to give people information to empower them to make life decisions, to give them support, give them guidance, help them to make plans. So we do that. We do some other things too, some support groups and educational programs.
So do you usually meet with people one time, or is it more of an ongoing building relationship type of a situation?
Yeah, it's usually more than one time. It may be we meet someone maybe for 3 times, say, in a month or a couple of months, and then the issue may be resolved for a while, and then maybe they come back to us. Some of our frail elders, we do regularly visit in their homes just as a check-in to see how they're doing.
So you mentioned the word we. It sounds like you have a team. Can you tell me a little bit about your team?
Sure. Currently we have, we're lucky to have Ellen Gillis, who's a semi-retired licensed social worker. She's with us on Monday and Wednesdays. She's also a backup Shine counselor, helps people with their insurance, does a lot of our home visiting with our frailer elders. And now we actually have a student from Bridgewater State University social work program, Shelbey, Pedzewick, and she's with us this year, and that's been really great.
So you mentioned SHINE. Can you tell me what that means and what that acronym means? Because not everyone knows. We have a lot of acronyms in COA world.
Right, I'll try. Serving the serving the health insurance needs of everyone.
And so tell me a little bit about what a SHINE counselor would do, and do they do that in the home, or is it something that happens at the center?
It usually happens at the center, but if someone's not able to come, Ellen Gillis, our outreach worker, will go out to the home. So it basically is helping people to make decisions about the Medicare plans, and they go on Medicare.gov, the website. Ellen will go on with them, or we also have a SHINE volunteer counselor, and they'll just help them to look at the options for their plans, what's most appropriate, what's most affordable, and what makes sense. And they'll give them 3 choices, and it's ultimately up to the senior to decide, but it's basically supporting them and giving them information.
Great. So I know right now is open enrollment,
yes.
And when that ends, will the SHINE counselor still be available to help?
Yes, definitely. And mostly they see people who are about to turn 65, who want to come in and see what their options are.
And how much before your 65th birthday should you kind of start thinking about this as I should get the information so I'm ready?
You know, I don't know the answer to that question, but I do see people come in like a year before starting to look at that.
Sure, sure. So can you tell me some of the special projects you're working on right now, and some of the upcoming speakers you might be having?
Well, we have our support groups going on, our monthly support groups. I'm doing one for caregivers. It's called the Caregiver Discussion Group, and that takes place the first Tuesday of the month from 2 to 3 p.m. Actually, we do have a guest speaker in December coming from let me see, coming from Home Instead. It's Carolyn Walsh, and we're going to talk about communication, better communication with people who have dementia. We don't always have a guest speaker, and it's definitely a drop-in group. Anyone can come, so it's completely walk-in.
And when is that again?
It's the first Tuesday of the month from 2 to 3 p.m. And then Ellen Gillis does a support group for people who have just experienced a loss. And she's doing that the first Monday of the month from 1 to 2:30.
And so someone, say a friend of mine had just lost someone they loved and weren't able to come to the senior center, would you go out to visit them in the home, and how does that work?
Yes. And again, Ellen's been doing much of this work because she does have more experience in this area. So we actually do reach out to people that we know have had a recent loss, and she will go out and make a couple of visits. And if the person wants to come to the group and they decide together that that's a good thing, then they come to the group and she would stop the visits. But there are some people she continues to visit, and we check in on and help them on their way.
So when you go out to do a home visit, what are some of the things you help people with?
Okay. Well, we might look around to see if there's any safety issues in the home, like for somebody who has a mobility issue, like scattered rugs and things like that, or lighting or furniture or too much clutter. We might just ask them about things that they can and cannot do for themselves, that they might need a home health aide with help with personal care, like bathing and dressing, or would they benefit from a homemaker, for somebody to come in and make their bed because that's difficult for them, or do the vacuuming, do the laundry, go out and do a little grocery shopping because the bags are too heavy to carry, you know, that kind of thing.
And so you'd make that referral to what agency?
That referral we would really make to Old Colony Elder Services to see if a senior would qualify for their program, because it's subsidized and it's affordable. And if they did not qualify, then we would help them to look at more private pay.
Okay.
And then we, you know, just also check in, are they, if they have support, like from their family or friends? You know, do they have any other paid people coming in, or any other, do they have, you know, the emergency response system, the button to push if they fall, that kind of stuff. So we're looking at that. We're just looking to see how are they doing financially? Do they need help with benefits programs? You know, maybe fuel assistance or food assistance. So all of that, just to see, kind of check in on these different areas.
So you could help someone fill out a fuel or a SNAP application.
Yeah, the food assistance, which is SNAP, the application for that, and fuel assistance. We also do have the benefits checkup program online that we can help people to see are there any other benefits programs they might be eligible for. And
are you surprised at what you find they're eligible for by doing that program? Because it seems like it's pretty far-reaching, some of the programs that they're...
It is. Sometimes some of the basic things come up, but then things that we might not think about, like a cell phone. People can get a free cell phone. They can get discounts on their electric. You know, they might even be able to get a discount on a particular medication.
Okay.
Things like that.
Well, and it's nice, we also have the veteran agent in our building, and that's really helpful, because if you're a veteran yourself, there's a lot of benefits available to the person.
Right, more and more. That's at the top of one of my questions, is anyone a veteran?
Right.
Right.
So that's a great way to help. So what other things do you do in the community when you go out in the community?
Well, sometimes we go we go to the churches and drop off flyers and see if, you know, there's anyone in the congregation that, you know, anyone can tell us about that might need help. Sometimes we actually make regular stops at the local stores, because we tend to bump into seniors sometimes, and we get into conversations there. We go to the housing. We go to Duxbury Village on Chestnut Street. And we go to Island Creek, because those are places where there are seniors who are low income and subsidized housing. And we try to build relationships there. In the past, we've had some discussion groups there. We kind of hear about other people's concerns about their neighbors and things like that, actually, from doing those kinds of stops.
And I know in the past you had the groups at Island Creek. Are you hoping to reintroduce those as the construction gets done? I
Yes.
know they're that close.
Right, absolutely. We weren't able to do some of the things we had done in the past there, but yes, they're going to have a beautiful community room there, and we're looking forward to going there and doing more things.
And I know the programming staff is really excited to reach out to Island Creek and do some work at Chestnut Street and other places in the community to
Yeah.
get the word out and do some programming
Yeah.
that people may not come to the senior center
Right.
for.
Right.
Can you tell us a little bit? I know AARP comes in, and do you help refer people to that program?
Right, so AARP will be coming in soon to do tax preparation. And so the referrals go either way. Sometimes they refer people to us and we refer people to them, but that kind of happens a lot.
And the nice thing is that's a free service to get your taxes done. AAP volunteers come in a couple days a week. You have to schedule and do some pre-paperwork to
Right.
get the taxes done, but if you have a simple tax, you can get it done for free at the senior center.
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is
it's a really great program.
I know you work a lot with Becky, who's our medical transportation supervisor.
Yes.
And I was wondering, I know, do you make referrals to her for transportation, and how does that work?
Yes, we do. If someone calls and they're looking, or we're working with someone and they need to get a ride to a doctor's appointment, we definitely refer to her. But more the case is that she refers to us. Somebody signs up and they really say they just need a ride to the doctor, and then the bus driver or Becky will notice that they probably need some other services, and they refer to us. We also work really closely with the home delivered meals coordinator, because it's the same thing. People sign up for home delivered meals, and then they observe, either the volunteers or Kathy herself, and doing an assessment. We'll see that there's maybe some other services. There might be an overwhelmed caregiver, and those are the kinds of things that we can help with.
So let's just talk quickly. We're almost out of time,
okay.
but home delivered meals. Can you just give me a quick few-minute summary about what home delivered meals is, because our viewers may not know?
Sure, it's a way to get a hot meal delivered to you or someone else in your family for a very low fee, and you also get somebody who delivers it and can see the person every day and do a little check-in. It's like a little safety check-in. And if somebody sees a senior that they see regularly that maybe doesn't look right that day, they come back and let us know, and we contact the family. And it's just more than a meal.
Well, it is more than the meal, and
Yeah.
it's the friendly visitor, it's the warm
Yes.
smile. I love it that our volunteers bring their grandchildren, and I know they're the biggest hit when they go
Right.
out to deliver the meals, so they really, it is a wonderful program.
Yeah.
So if any of our viewers are interested in volunteering to deliver meals, or would like to get involved with the home delivered meals program or any of the other offerings that Outreach provides, give Donna a call or stop by her office. She is on the second floor of the senior center. And what's your number, Donna?
Oh, it's 5730.
So the number at the senior center is 781-934-5774. 5730. And please reach out to Outreach. It's a wonderful way to get resources to stay in the community safely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, Janet. It's nice seeing you again. You a good girl. Just let me know what I can do to help.
Well, to help me, she'd have to help every day. Every hour, every ouch, every time my wife calls for help. I mean, maybe she could help me make her lunch. But the crust, all the crust has to be cut off the corners. She could help me run to the doctor for the 5th time this week. Help me with the specialist and the second opinions and the painful paperwork about paperwork. Help me deal with how hard it is seeing my wife's name on so much paperwork. But this is on me. I'm the only one who can do this, like this, for her. Besides,
Take care.
we will. Janet doesn't like her cooking anyway.
Find support for your strength. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community.
You don't have to be so strong.
Strength is not optional. This is my mother, my purpose. Real muscle is lifting her spirits between bedpans and bad news from doctors that doubt her strength. Strength is buried in bills, managing meds, and swallowing those moments of Mom, it's me, your daughter. Remember? My strength is super, but I'm still human, right?
Find support for your strength. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community.
Welcome back to Primetime Live at the Duxbury Senior Center. We're spending our whole show today on outreach. And in our first session, Donna talked a little bit about our special person that's in the office for a whole year with us, and that's our intern. And we really wanted you to meet Shelbey Pedzewick. Welcome to the show, Shelbey.
Thank you.
So I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I'm a student at Bridgewater State. This is my 5th year. I'm graduating in May with a social work degree, and I'm going to be 23 pretty soon, so I'm pretty excited to get my life rolling. Yeah.
Awesome. So as a social work intern, what have you been doing at the Senior Center thus far?
A lot of things. I've been really involved with the home delivered meals program so far. Mm-hmm. So once or twice a week I deliver meals to seniors, which I like because I get to make interactions with them and stuff like that. I've also sat in on the Aging Mastery Program meetings, which I really like because they're informational sessions. We did one on nutrition and one on financial assistance. And that's another good way for me to meet with people because it's large groups of tables and I just sit with different people every time. I also have been helping with fuel assistance applications, which is getting better as we go along.
Yeah. Was it hard to get the hang of it at first?
Yeah, I was nervous. It's a lot of paperwork,
yeah.
But I think I'm getting used to it. And I have another one next week.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
And so question, what are you most excited about in this role, or what have you liked so far the best?
I know I kind of already said this, but I like making relationships with people. I am going to be doing friendly visits at people's homes pretty soon, so I'm excited for that. I've already met with one particular client who is really fun to meet with, so I'm excited to continue seeing her and building a relationship with her throughout the year.
And is this the only internship you've done, or what other things does Bridgewater offer to their social work students?
For the social work program, we have this field placement. This is the whole year, but as a junior, you need to do, I believe, a 200-hour field placement, which I did mine at BAMSI.
Now, what's that?
It's kind of a mix of what we do at the Outreach Center. It's an organization for people who need assistance. Some people may have disabilities of any kind, whether that's intellectual or physical. They do a lot of things with people who need help with income. So I did a lot of SNAP benefits applications and the brown bag program, which was they would come and get their food weekly. Mm-hmm. So I did that.
And so that was a good training ground for what you're doing now,
Yeah.
especially working in the home delivered meals program.
And with me and Donna doing the fuel assistance applications, she had asked me if I had ever done an application before, so having the SNAP benefits makes it a little easier with that experience.
And you're putting some great things in your toolbox, so to speak, that you're
Yeah.
able to know how to use all these applications and things upon graduation.
Yeah, in the future.
So May is the big graduation date.
It is. I'm very excited.
And so what are some of the things, so a whole year, and when do you work at the office?
Wednesdays and Fridays. I get there on 8:30 and leave 2 or 3-ish. Mm-hmm. And our days, we thought Fridays were going to be days where we wouldn't have much to do, but it seems that those have been our busy days lately.
Well, I would say at the Senior Center, when you have a list of what you're going to do, sometimes you don't even get to the list because the Senior Center happens, I guess is the only way to describe it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you said you like going out and visiting clients. Have you met anyone in the office thus far?
For the fuel assistance applications, we've met in the office, but one-on-one I haven't, but I've been in there when Ellen or Donna have been with people in meeting, but I also try to give them the confidentiality at the same time. But I have been involved with Donna on a few certain clients we've had where we've had to go to their homes to help them fill out paperwork and stuff if they couldn't come in, and we've helped get them services with GATRA to get around and everything like that.
And so will you eventually go out by yourself, or will you always go out with Donna as a senior student?
No, I'll eventually be going out by myself. We're just kind of in the process of finding people who are willing to take me and have me there and who need it, I think.
Okay. Yeah, we're just looking for good matches. Probably by January she'll have a small caseload of visits with seniors.
Yeah.
And Shelbey isn't your first intern. How many other interns have you had?
Right. I don't know, I think maybe 3 or 4. But Shelbey is our first senior intern, so she's with us the full year and has a lot more knowledge and skills than some of the others who were juniors, so it's really great, and she has a lot of great energy, so we really love having her around.
Well, yeah, we really have enjoyed having you in the Aging Mastery Program, and Shelby was nice enough to take notes for our board meeting, which can be interesting, and you did a fabulous job on the notes, I might add. So thank you, thank you for doing that. So when you're done with school, what are you looking to do, or what are you hoping to take from this job into your next job?
A lot of people keep asking me that. I don't know. I have a thing for working with people with disabilities, and that's what I've been doing throughout college. Actually, I've been doing a lot of direct care. So part of me wants to be a program manager at a day hub for people with disabilities, but at the same time, me and Donna were just talking about this, about all the other opportunities in other places, since I have been doing the same thing, and it would be good to get a change in there and get more experience. So I'm not really sure.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
I think the career path is varied and very squiggly kind of a road, and you sometimes wonder how you get to where you are. And
especially in social work, there's so many different things that you could be doing.
Right.
So we'll see.
And how many students approximately graduate from that Bridgewater in social work a year? Is it a big program?
It's not as big as the education program. I would say probably like 200 students. That's a guess, but my classes are pretty small, especially the field placement classes that we take with the internship. We only have 10 students each, so maybe 200 students in the social work program at a time, but graduating at the same time, there's not that many.
Right.
So.
Right. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. So Donna, I know you have a resource guide, and I know this is something that you use when you go out in the community. Can you tell us a little bit about that as a tool that Shelby can use when she's in the community or at the senior center?
Yeah, actually, it's not just the outreach resource guide, but it's really information about the whole center. And we have this nice little booklet, and it's good for us. It has programs on safety, in the community, different kinds of programs, phone numbers, some of the programs that we offer at the center, some phone numbers for other benefits programs. So it's a nice quick look to see when we're working with somebody if we want to look something up, or people can just grab one at the center and they can take it home and use it for themselves.
And so where are those located at the center, just in case someone wanted one?
Sure. Well, downstairs they are on what we call the outreach table. That's actually a little bit outside of your office,
right.
Where we keep a lot of informational things. So I usually have some there, and then upstairs there's a little coffee table where we keep some, and then of course our office.
Okay, and at that outreach you have a bulletin board. Some of the things that you include on that bulletin board, what things can people find there?
Information on any programs we're doing, like the support groups or anything that other surrounding towns are doing. A lot of times free seminars on any kind of like educational programs on planning, maybe like downsizing, planning, caregiver programs, a lot of that kind of thing.
Okay, and I know you have something on our respite program. Our viewers may not know about that. Do you want to tell a little bit about that program?
The social day program?
Yes.
Oh, sure. We have a social day program for people with early stage Alzheimer's disease. They can come 2 days a week, or actually we have a model now also 3 days a week, 9 to 3. It's filled with activities. We have a great staff, great volunteers. The caregivers can get a break at home, but then know that their loved one is very much socialized, stimulated, and I think it's a really positive experience for everybody.
Shelby, have you had an opportunity to sit in on that program?
I have.
And what do you like best about it?
Well, I first observed, and then I got to be a volunteer, which I really liked because that certain day we were making crafts, I believe, for Halloween. And
are you a crafty person?
Yes.
Okay, well that's good to know. Karen's probably happy to hear that.
Yeah, I really liked, it felt like I was working there, which I love because I like working with big groups of people. So I think there was probably 6 or 7 clients there that day, and it was fun because we got to go bowling and I got to eat lunch with them and do the crafts, like I said. And the staff in there was so nice, and you can tell they really like what they're doing. So.
I was going to say the thing that I like best about the program is the love you feel among the participants and the staff, and the laughter. Karen is fabulous, and the team is such a great team down there, and they're having such a great time. And like you said, Donna, it's so important for families to have that kind of a break
Right.
A lot of time I hear, you know, I didn't know you did that too. So anywhere and anytime we can talk about the different programs and services that we offer at the Senior Center, it's so important. So
Right.
I love that you guys have had the chance, especially you, to experience it firsthand and to share that information as you go forth. We're almost out of time today, so just wanted to wrap things up with a few things. So your favorite thing so far?
I don't know. I really like being in the day program, the social day program. I like when me and Donna, I like when I get to go with Donna, we ride some places together to go, like I said, seeing that one client who was homebound and just kind of getting to observe what you do, being more experienced, obviously. And I don't know, I feel like I learn a lot from being with Donna and just making relationships with people.
So this is definitely a program that makes a difference in so many lives. We had over 1,500 visits in the community and in the office last year. And so that's a big difference in someone's lives. You're just a phone call away.
Right.
Which is a wonderful thing. I know it's almost the holidays, and many people are alone, or they go to visit their loved one and they come back and they say, Mom is a little different. Tell me just quickly, before we end our show today, what if someone goes home and says, Mom's a little different, what kind of things can you help with?
Well, if they call in, just give me an idea of what's different. You know, lots of times it might be safety, or it might just be they need help with bathing, like we talked about needing home care services, or it might be they need a companion in there, or maybe they need the social day program, or they shouldn't be driving too far anymore. Maybe they need medical transportation or home delivered meals. You know, some of those really basic things can really go a long way.
Now, how about my mom lives in Ohio? What about if she needed help and I came home and called the Senior Center and said, my mom is having a hard time. What kind of information could you help with a long distance loved one?
Well, sometimes we actually seek out the Senior Center or Elder Service Agency in that area. We go on the internet and we look for it and call them.
Right.
Or I can give them some basic care plan ideas on what to do when they're talking to their parent, or when they go home.
So I think an important thing for our viewers to know, you don't need to be 60 to come through the front door. We're really here to help the entire community. If your loved one, your neighbor, a friend needs assistance, we're here to help. So I am so thankful we have both of you on our staff, and so thankful for the work you do. So thanks.
Thank you.
So we look forward to having you with us for the rest of the year, and we wish you much success as you continue on in your professional journey.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.